Rock Around the Blockade is a British campaign in defence of socialist Cuba. It was founded in 1995 by members and supporters of the Revolutionary Communist Group. Since then we have sent 13 brigades to Cuba, providing material aid to Cuban youth. In Britain we campaign actively against the US blockade of Cuba, against the US occupation of Guantanamo Bay and the military prison there, for a boycott of Bacardi, a supporter of the Miami Mafia, and in solidarity with revolutionary movements throughout Latin America. We organise protests, educational meetings, film showings and live music events. We consistently campaigned for the freedom of the Cuban Five throughout their imprisonment and celebrated their final release in December 2014. Cuba shows that a better world is possible. It shows that there is an alternative to poverty, racism and war. Despite the US blockade and its devastating effect on Cuba's economy and infrastructure, Cuba continues to deliver free, world-class education and healthcare to every single citizen. The government has also invested heavily in the arts to ensure that culture is available to all and is not just a bourgeois pastime. We use this example to support working class struggles in Britain and to show that socialism is the only system that can provide for humanity. In the words of Fidel Castro, there is no independence and no revolution without socialism and without international solidarity. We must get support from international solidarity, receive it and give it. As Che Guevara said, what we have to practice today is solidarity. We should not approach people to say, here we are, we come to give the charity of our presence, to show our presence, to teach you with our science, to show you your mistakes, your ignorance, your lack of basic knowledge. We must go with investigative effort and humble spirit to learn from the great source of wisdom that is the people. RATB's solidarity work will continue to uphold socialist Cuba as a living example of an alternative to the brutality of capitalism and austerity. We will continue to oppose the illegal US blockade, to demand the end of the illegal US occupation of Guantanamo Bay, and to support Cuba's right to self-determination.
But who are this lot?
Well, we're here today to demand that Jimmy Jones breaks his links with the Bacardi Corporation.
We're waiting.
Well, you can read that and find out. The corporation being involved with the CIA of terrorism against Cuban people.
Wow.
So we say judge a man by the company he keeps.
Bacardi is just a pretty harmless drink company. I mean,
Bacardi are involved in supporting the USA policy of keeping the US blockade against Cuba in place. We say drink with a clean conscience, don't drink Bacardi.
The first thing that comes to my head is probably Fidel Castro or Buena Vista Social Club.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Mainly the music from Buena Vista.
yep.
And ballet as well.
The Cuban Five.
Heard a little bit about it, that they encourage young students themselves to teach a lot, which I know from experience actually helps you learn yourself as well when you teach someone else. So,
the impression I have of it is that it's a positive place. I mean, I know a lot of good culture comes from it. That's all I can perceive from my position.
O sea, Cuba se ve con lentes muy grandes. Muchas cosas que ocurren en Cuba ocurren en muchas partes del mundo y nunca se nota. O sea, pero cuando ocurre en Cuba, la gran prensa entonces la magnifica. Me parece que es algo muy relativo y es algo que en muchas ocasiones es muy manipulado. Así es que...
So without wanting to pretend to be big thinkers or philosophers.
Si nos creemos que somos grandes en defender esta revolución.
But we do think we are good at defending our revolution.
Y se lo digo honestamente,
I'm telling you sincerely.
A nosotros nadie nos pone una pistola
Nobody puts a gun to our
ni
head.
nadie nos obliga a decir
Nobody obliges us to
esta
say
cosa.
anything.
Eso es porque lo sentimos.
It's because we feel this.
Desde el año 1961, el Departamento del Tesoro prohibió al gobierno de Cuba utilizar dólares en sus transacciones. Es una de las primeras leyes del bloqueo. Y persiguen nuestras operaciones en esa moneda y las confiscan.
The reality is that that little island with few people being squeezed in economically by the biggest power in the world has for 49 years demonstrated that there's a different world. That's what is operating out there. And that's what we're proud of as a trade union in the RMC, is that we're proud that Cuba wants to spend money on constructing society rather than destructing society.
I'm a pioneer of rock around the blockade. I'm very committed to your work, what you do with just few resources, but with your militant position in defense of the Cuban Revolution and cooperating with our youth movement is a very important thing. And I'm very glad to see that our young generation here in ICAP is also dealing with you and of course learning from you, and in the way that Cuba is important for you as one of the alternatives in this world is a pleasure for us.
Me da mucha ilusión encontrar un grupo de jóvenes.
And for me, it's very joy.
Inspirados en el pensamiento marxista,
like you.
So every day we're out on the street campaigning for the Cuban Five. We're campaigning for every one of us, for a better life, for a more just system, for education and health for our people. So continue to campaign, continue to tell all those people who passed here today who have never heard of the Cuban Five, tell them what the Cuban Five is about and what social system the Cuban Five stands for. That is a system of humanity, a system of justice, a system that looks after its people. So free the Cuban Five!
You're saying that the most important lesson out of this struggle to free the five is that you fight and you struggle until you win. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, it doesn't matter how much effort needs to be put in the effort. You resist, you fight, you don't give up until you win the battle. That's the main lesson that